Brad Schneider placing the ball on the tee. Stuart Pike and Terry O'Connor standing by. The second of the semi-finals, a place at Old Trafford. Stuart, take it away.
Thank you, Brian. The 2023 Betfred Super League Grand Final in touching distance. 80 minutes from the promised land of Old Trafford for Wigan and for Hull KR. It's a crackling atmosphere. Let's hope it's a game to match.
Oh, it's outstanding. What about that North stand? It reminds me of the 2019 playoff game against Salford. The Hull KR fans have turned out with the numbers to try and cheer their side on, and what a game we're going to have here. It's going to be so good, so big, so much at stake for 80 minutes. One of these teams going to go on to Old Trafford. The other team, well, season over.
Kite Paul for Wigan. They finished top on a dramatic final day of the regular season over Catalan and St Helens. The Super League champs have gone, and that may well have come off a Hull KR hand. And Wigan, I think, are going to get the ball back just inside the Rovers' half of the field. And a great opportunity in the early stages, but that side, that right-hand side, it's been talked about many times, but that is where Wigan are going to strike, you feel.
Well, it's a good battle on the right-hand side for Wigan, but obviously, if you look at Hull KR's left edge, they've tormented Wigan in the games they've played this year, so plenty of strike on that side of the field.
Move now! Hold the 10. Hold!
Should be a brilliant semi-final. Catalan 12, St Helens 6.
Move to
4-year reign of the Super League champs is over. And Wigan going to win it again. Is history going to be made with a new name on the trophy if KR can get through to face the Dragons? Here is O'Neill and French in the line. Kai Pearce-Paul looking to offload. This is a really strong start, this. For Wigan, 3 yards away from the Hull KR line. The dangerous Bevan French. Smith now out of the back door. Field! Jay Field for Marshall! Has Marshall got the ball down? Or has he been held up over the line? It's an early shout for the video referee. Liam Moore on the field is saying a try for Wigan. Ben Saylor, the video referee, will make the call. In the end, it's a fairly easy decision. Desperate defending from Tom Opicic and Jack Walker. The Wigan strike early on in this semi-final. It's taken 2 minutes. It's the Wigan man, the winger, Liam Marshall, for the Fred, his 21st try of the season.
Well, what an outstanding start from Wigan. Over on the right edge, they cut them apart early on. They got another set. They swing the ball over. You look at when Jay Field gets this ball, there's a bit of panic from Hull KR. Players coming out the line and not really getting anybody. And then Liam Marshall comes up with the goods. A player that was praised by his coach in the build-up to this game on his 450th Wigan appearance. You look at the speed there. Jay Field, it gets him out of trouble. Too much strength, too much power, and they go on for the opening try to the delight of the Wigan fans.
Well, the delight to the Wigan coach as well. Speaking with Matty Pete yesterday and saying that the start was absolutely crucial for them, for his team, and for KR. And Wigan have scored, and Hull KR haven't touched the ball apart from kicking off. Harry Smith off the touchline. He's had his critics as far as goal kicking is concerned, but that is an absolute beauty. And Wigan leads 6-0. What a start.
Well, that's not bad, is it? Just 3 minutes on the clock, and you look at Liam Marshall when he gets this ball, they look really determined. Watched him in the warm-up, how clinical they were, a lot of talk. You could see a lot of the senior players with a lot of composure, and those senior players have got to set the example, lead from the front, and the others will follow. And Liam Marshall, Jay Field, the threat they have over on the left-hand side, well, that's a warning shot.
Well, as it stands, it's first against second at Old Trafford, live and exclusive on Sky Sports next Saturday. It's Wigan against Catalan. There's a long, long way to go. Rovers have just got to settle it down now, get their hands on the ball and try and make some yardage, but the worst possible start for KR.
Well, they get a penalty as well now, so you're right, they've got to get their hands on the ball. Nearly 5 minutes on the clock, conceded a try. They've got to get into the rhythm of the game as well. This atmosphere is incredible. And Mikey Lewis, the man that's penalised. The Warriors will like to make this ground a bit of a fortress, and they're very proud. And we always knew that they're going to be physical early on, but they will shift the ball, and they'll shift it with some purpose.
But they will be wary, Wigan. The last 2 years, of course, home advantage has counted for nothing. They've lost in the playoffs on both occasions to Leeds. In fact, it's worse than that, the record, isn't it?
Yeah, well, you go back to 2019, beaten by Salford.
French now, danger, Jay Field.
You've got to get hold of him, you've got to do a decent job on him. Wherever he chimes into the line, you know there's going to be danger.
Well, this is a sizzling start from the Wigan Warriors. You feel Hull KR have got to keep them out here. Smith inside for Farrell, always dangerous. Liam Farrell with the ball. It's 350th Wigan appearance. What a service he's been. Smith with a crossfield kick, and Jay Field. The Field is claiming the try. The referee there, Liam Moore, was going to give a 20-metre tap. Field is claiming that he didn't knock on and it came off his ankle. Ben Saylor, over to you.
Okay, live call we have is no try. He's onside, so we can go on from there. The player to the right is off. That doesn't matter. Keep going, there's nobody there. So does he knock on? That's the thing. Live call is no try. Does it touch his hand? Right, we need that angle. That's a really good angle on that. Right, that has hit his leg on that angle. And his hand is above his leg. To go from there, I can see his hand. Just jog that angle back. I think that's the best angle. Because that's the clearest one. And if it's nice and slow, please. His hands are high, they're well high. That's the angle. That one, that's the best one. It'll just slightly go back. Nice and slow. Pause it there. There's no hands, so I'm jogging on from here. That's his leg. Therefore, there's no knock on. Keep it going. It's kicked again. It's through to the grounding. Both hands on the ball, nice and slow. Thank you. I've now made my decision.
Well, they say you need a bit of luck to win big games, and luck is favouring the Wigan Warriors because Jay Field has just scored their second try in the opening 6 minutes. It did come off his shins, and I have to say, fair play to Liam Moore. His first thought was to give Hull KR the tap, but he made the right call. Boy, did he make the right call. And what a start from Wigan. Rovers still haven't touched the ball.
Yeah, outstanding. Look at that. You're seeing Harry Smith just scanning for space, and the Warriors will compete for absolutely everything. When you've got someone who's got the speed of Jay Field, he just plays, and everyone's on red alert. It's a great kick over the top. They knew exactly what they were doing. It was called for by Jay Field, and this is a red-hot start from the Warriors. And like you said, Hull KR still to touch the ball yet. Wow.
Breathless, breathtaking, brilliant. Sums up Wigan's start. And Harry Smith It's a 12-0 after an astonishing opening 6 minutes.
Willie Peters and Danny Maguire know that they need to do something special to win this game. Like I said, Harry Smith, great kick on the inside, that man chasing up, play to the whistle, and Jay Field knew as soon as he got that ball down as a try, he didn't touch it in the field of play. And the Warriors fans will let go up. What a start, what an opening they have had.
Well done to the ref as well. We've seen in the past how decisions made by the video referee in big games, or the referee on the field not to go to the video ref, and can prove pivotal. He got that one spot on.
Yeah, and that's why some people are against the video ref. I'm quite for it. Important in players like that you get it right. It's good you're a game away from getting to Old Trafford. They're the calls you need to get right.
The perfect start for Wigan and their coach Matt Pete. For Willie Peters, but not a lot he can do. He's got to hope first and foremost that his side get the ball soon. 40-20 attempts, but finally Jack Walker, after 8 minutes and 4 seconds, touches the ball for KR. Big hit on Walker. First tackle that Wigan have had to make.
And the big thing now for Hull KR, not to panic because they're behind by 12 points and it's the first time they've touched the ball. Construct the set of 6, get to your kick, play that field position, get it into the corner, and defensively you've got to turn up. They can't panic here like looking for an offload because they're under a bit of pressure.
Until Wigan made that tackle, their first of the game, Hull KR had to make 56 tackles and still conceded 2 tries. I think even this early on in the game, Terry, coming up to 10 minutes gone, I think Hull KR simply have to score next, and Lynette wrapped up brilliantly on the far side by Abbas Miski. Already at the last, Mikey Lewis hoists one in the air, and never any danger there for Jay Field, takes it well. But more than anything, KR have just got to steady the ship. Just try and keep it simple certainly for the next 10 or 15 minutes, I would imagine. But they cannot concede again.
That's it, just keep it simple, roll your sleeves up, get through your set to 6. Don't, like I said, don't panic if you're a forward. When you carry the ball, bend the line, go into that line to make a real impression. Be direct when you play it. And you can see Wigan here now just going nice and tight off the ruck. Nice and simple. Oh, they got a penalty. See, that's what you can't do. You've been struggling to get hold of the ball. You get hold of the ball, you come up with a couple of decent sets, then you come in, you give a penalty. You can see that Schneider just upends Morgan Smithies, and it's right in front of the referee. Puts him in a dangerous position, gives the penalty away.
Matt, 10 metres, come on. Hold the 10. Go.
Real buzz around the stadium. 5,000 fans from Hull KR stunned, absolutely stunned into silence. A fabulous turnout for this playoff semi-final, but at the moment it's all going horribly wrong. 10 minutes gone, Wigan lead 12-0.
Up and square. Goal 2.
Attacking again. Another tackle missed, this time by Parcell, and Smithies makes good ground. To the edge of the 20. Smith again. Here is Bevan French. Closely watched. Had to be as well by Lynette.
Come on, Matt.
Just look so confident with ball in hand, don't they? Tyler Dupree joined mid-season. Is it going to be a grand final for him? Smith again. And Field. And Marshall. And Marshall. And Marshall! And Marshall! It's 3 tries for Wigan in 11 minutes. It's 16-0. It's astonishing.
Outstanding. Matty Pete said earlier in the week that he's preparing this side to peak at the right time, and they've certainly done that. I bet you this is the best they've played in the opening 11 minutes of a game, knowing that they were already up a side that had beat them a couple of times this year. And that left edge again, just unpicking Hull KR. Nice ball from Wardle, and cuts back on the angle, gets in Marshall. And so underrated, you know, by so many in the game, Liam Marshall. Very powerful the way he carries the ball, change of direction, beats 3 players on the inside and then just gets over for that line. And Matty Pete, look at that.
Yeah.
You don't see him smiling often, but he's got plenty to smile about early on, hasn't he?
Liam Marshall, 150th Wigan appearance, 2 tries, and already after 12 minutes, it looks like he is taking Wigan to another grand final. Well, a penny for the thoughts of those 3, especially the man in the middle, the Rovers coach Willie Peters.
So disappointed. All comes from the back of that, giving that penalty away in Wigan's 20 or in Wigan's 30. You can see that all the players now just trying to put things right in the little pockets, the little groups that they work in on the pitch. A kick here from Harry Smith, 2 from 2. They've got to get into this game. They've got to come up with something. Do you know what? You say, like in big games, you don't panic. I think with that whole KR side there, they've got to start pushing the ball. I know we're only 12 minutes into the game, but if Wigan keep building like they're building and gaining confidence, it could be a real tough day.
18-0 after 12 minutes. The problem though, Terry, is that with every try, it's another blow, and that confidence and belief just evaporates, doesn't it? And it all stems from another penalty.
Well, it just sucks it out here. They've given 2 penalties away in this game. On the back of giving penalties away, they can't defend the line. The players just shooting the line. You got an over chase, you got an under chase. The gap opens up for Marshall, and we talk about Wigan's wingers in Abbas Miski and Liam Marshall, but you have to look at Toby King and Jake Wardle as well. The passes they give them as the ball goes out on the full.
Everything that can go wrong is going wrong.
Well,
I've
said it's Wigan's best 11 minutes, 13 minutes now of the season. This is Hull KR's worst performance so far in the season. Like 13 minutes, I've never seen them play this bad.
It's horrible, isn't it? Horrendous. Well, finally, a mistake from Wigan. And Tyler Dupree drops the ball.
Well, Tyler Dupree, he just hit the front ball. It doesn't go out the back to Morgan Smithies. They play short. He makes the error. And I tell you what, those Hull KR players, they'll be thankful, won't they? Ellie Minchella just turning around, applauding that mistake. And see what they can come up with. What can they conjure up here?
Well, obviously the game plan for KR is gone. It's gone. So what do they do now? What's plan B? What's plan C?
Well, roll your sleeves up. Like that, like I said, that left edge has been devastating against Wigan. They've just not given themselves a chance in this game. They've been absolutely miles off so far. You want those easy meters, you want to play over the advantage line, you know what you've got to do as a forward.
Well, of course, that epic Challenge Cup semi-final is a distant memory now for both. Brad Schneider's golden point drop goal, winning it for KR, who then went on to lose, of course, in similar fashion in that incredible final to Leeds at Wembley. But at the moment, it looks very much as if it's going to be Wigan against Catalan in the grand final. Midway inside the Wigan half, on the last, and Lewis again. This time it's a good kick, it's a high hanging kick, but what a take from Abbas Miski. And what a buy he's turned out to be, by the way.
Oh, so shrewd. Another buy, hasn't he? Just unbelievable the way that he's just slotted in over the past couple of years here. Obviously scores tries, does a decent job as well defending his line. You can see he's here with another carry. And the Warriors now just quite happy with rolling the sleeves up, getting through the set to 6, getting to the kick, trying to, not say earn a penalty, but just through all the hard work, putting Hull KR in a situation where they give penalties away.
Only 5 out of 25 grand finals have not featured the side that finished top. At the moment, it doesn't look like that record is going to end anytime soon. 16 minutes gone, 18-0 in favour of Wigan.
And because they're willing to work hard as well defensively, they're getting numbers in, aren't they? Look, 3 players involved. Morgan Smithies flips the Hull KR player onto the back, Ryan Hall, makes it all slow around the ruck, nice and tight. They're getting no change at all around that ruck area.
find something from somewhere. Here is George King.
Look, they're getting challenged to play from deep here. The way that Wigan are defending, how tight they are, they've got to come up with something.
Schneider inside for James Batchelor. They've offered nothing in defence. They've offered very little in attack. Minchella, here is Schneider with a little dummy, finds a way through. Schneider, good run from the Aussie. He's been a terrific signing, of course, mid-season. Last one. Lewis again goes towards the corner, pressure on Miski. Now, did that come off the Wigan man? What's the call going to be from Liam Moore? I think it may well have come off a Rovers hand and gone backwards, so Wigan will get the ball 10 yards from their own line in front of the post, and each time that KR have had the ball and attacked the Wigan line, the last tackle play has been exactly the same.
Yeah, that's
kick
good.
high to that corner, and it's resulted in nothing.
Well, but kick high, at least you're making it into a contest, aren't you? They've got to do that. Willie Peters now come down to the sideline instead of standing up on top watching the game. He wants to be in the middle of it all, giving his direction out of what he can see. Young Harvey Hill onto the field now, changing the big fellas in the middle of the field.
Of course, Harvey Hill and Bevan French and Cade Ellis were all banned for the game, weren't they? But got away with it because of the reserve grand final. Look at that, 70-30, and the amount of tackles made as well is incredible. The stats summing up the game.
Yeah, they are, and the Warriors getting through the sets, aren't they? Well, with Mikey Lewis, the man who's behind the play, the ball, he just needs some good field position. Ryan Hall, who averages over 175 metres per game, just not having any joy at all.
18-0, 18 minutes gone. A whirlwind start from the Wigan Warriors. And Lewis Senior, did the ball come out? They've lost the ball again.
And that's what I mean. It's a bit of panic. You're looking at the scoreboard, you're thinking we need to score, we need to get rid of the ball. Well, now all you've done is put your side under pressure and another set restart 30 metres from your line. That is not how you play playoff rugby.
You think about it from Hull KR's point of view, they trained superbly all week. They were primed to cause an upset, primed to make history, primed to go to a grand final, but not at the moment for the Robins.
Release him!
Good field position once again. Bevan French. Ellis on the chance, yet to score a try this season. Cade Ellis, but he was bearing down on those posts. O'Neill, and it was a poor pass, and not much chance there of Harvey Hill being able to get that. Some respite for Hull KR.
Well, they failed to go one way, come back the other. You're right, it was a poor pass from Brad O'Neill. You can just see Harvey Hill, he was through the gap as well, wasn't he, on the outside of King? And I think it was Kane Lynette that was outside of him, but this Hull KR side now, they're looking at Warriors and what's in front of them. The fans just trying to just pep them up from behind those sticks, but I tell you what, it's difficult. Looking at Wigan here and looking at the defensive line and what's in front and how you break them down, well, it's going to be some magic that breaks them down.
Well, nearly some more magic in defence from Wigan. Get on with it, says the referee. Here is Batchelor. It's been pretty much a perfect all-round performance, this, hasn't it, so far from Wigan. Mikey Lewis. Midway through the first half. It's a warm day in northwest England, and Wigan have been running very, very hot. Second playoff semi-final, of course, for KR. They lost at Catalan a couple of years ago after that memorable win, but this could be memorable. Ball bounces in favour of Tom Opperchich, but just couldn't get the ball away.
Well, it's a towering kick, isn't it, from Schneider. Takes a nice bounce, goes back into the hands of Bachelet. They had players just flooding up. You could see Mikey Lewis pointing to kick the ball over to the corner.
Tom, now this is the chance for KR. Real opportunity on the try line to get points on the board, get them back in it. Chance goes forward from Big Sam Luckley off the Parcell, and there's the try for Minchella, and they're back in it. They take an opportunity, a Wigan error. 5,000 fans go absolutely crazy. Willie Peters still not happy, but he knows his side are back in this semi-final.
And that's where you offload the ball, close to the line. You suck in defenders, you get your arm free. It's a controlled offload, and that's what they're after. Decent field position, a mistake from Abbas Miski. And look, they can make a mistake. Nice short ball. I think it's luckily good offload. You can see here, there's plenty of space around that ruck area, and it's a nice line. You see when Luckley goes in, he sucks in defenders, there's 3 men in, he manages to get his arm free. It's a controlled, nice soft pass to Parcell. And what a line from Minchella, who goes in, and that's what it means to the coach. Jez Litton in the background saying, come on, we're in this game now.
Well, and they are in it. They are in it. The captain on a mistake, and Brad Schneider, only his 12th game, desperately hoping it isn't his last, but loud and proud, the roar from the Robins fans. Schneider to reduce the deficit to 12 points. And there it is, KR do get back into it, 18 points to 6, 17 minutes and a half time. Let's go pit side. John Wells.
Thanks, Stuart. If there's a warning for the Wigan Warriors, it is we're a quarter of the game through this match, and they've had just one set in the opposition half, 1 minute in the opposition half. Matt Parcell is key to everything that Hull KR do. They're within striking distance, 12 points. That is a warning shot for the Warriors.
Well, of course, we saw the NRL Grand Final, didn't we, on Sky Sports last Sunday. Penrith showed that it can be done. They were 24-8 down with under 20 minutes to go against Brisbane and won. I'm sure our special guest today, Lee Breers, on the Brisbane coaching staff, will be reminded of that a few times, but it can be done. And I'll tell you what, if it is done today, if there is a sensational fight back today, it'll be right up there with the best in the history of Super League. It's given KR confidence, Terry.
Exactly. Well, we all know that this Hull KR side can probably let themselves down in those 11 minutes, the most important time that you need to be hitting your form. They didn't perform, but that was because the Warriors started like a house on fire.
Schneider with the kick. Jay Field takes it well, but look at the pressure, and it was too much from Senior, high on Jay Field. And they've given away silly penalties, haven't they?
Well, that's it. You get there, you've got to make sure that you do it right. I'm not so sure, really, that it was a high shot. Look, initial contact was around the ball. There's a bit of an arm over the shoulder. Whether that was a penalty or not, I'm not so sure, but look at that, 4 penalties they've given away.
Keep them down.
18-6, 25 minutes of the first half gone. Old Trafford closing in as it stands for Wigan. I mentioned our special guest, former Warrington legend Lee Breers, who's back in the UK after his first season with Brisbane. Lee, so far, Wigan, too good.
Yeah, the perfect start from the Warriors. You know, Stuart, they went, I think, probably about 8 sets without OKR even touching the ball, posted points, which was a really good start. And then obviously the resilience what OKR have showed at the moment is what's got them into 4th spot in the Super League, and they're just hanging in here now. And you know, back of a couple of errors from Wigan, but you know, they've just wrestled it back with, you know, the Yardage penalty.
Actually, we'll be hearing from him during the game. Last one then for Wigan. Midway inside the KR half, Smith given room to run. Senior, though, takes it well under pressure from Marshall.
And that's how you set up for a kick. Cade Ellis with a really nice direct run, making plenty of meters. On the back of that, Harry Smith just managed to get forward and trying to turn the screw here.
Yeah, I was mentioning that Ellis and French and Hill, they all got banned after the last game of the season against Lee, but one of the old rules, I guess, in the sport, that if there's a reserve game, they can serve their bans, and they did. And they took advantage of that. And how, of course, Wigan winning the reserve final last week, beating St Helens. But it's a rule, I think, that may well be looked at ahead of next season.
Well, it's not fair, is it? Everyone wants it changing, but if the rule's there and you can take advantage of it, I don't know any club in the game that wouldn't do it.
Absolutely. Well, KR have steadied the ship somewhat. It was 18-0 after 16 minutes, would you believe? Crucial now that they don't let Wigan score again before half-time. Good run once more from O'Neill. What a great season he's had, firmly establishing himself as the number 1, number 9. Field gets round Minchella, does well.
Switch off on the inside, steps off that left foot. Made many defenders look foolish.
Last tackle. Smith goes towards the corner, knocked on by Kevin Dow, and French is just short of the line. 6 to go. The error from the KR captain. Now, how crucial could that be? They've been blighted by errors and giving away penalties in this semi-final so far. Smith inside for Cade Ellis. Critical moments here for both, you feel. O'Neill knocked on by Smith. Well, fortune, I guess, favours the brave. Rovers celebrating the fact that there was an error. Wigan not liking it. Mikey Lewis was in there, and it wouldn't be a semi-final without a bit of biff.
Well, you want a bit of passion, don't you? Do you know, obviously, Mikey Lewis, I'm not so sure what happened with that. Morgan Smithies into Schneider. He's always in the thick of it, isn't he, Mikey Lewis? And I think what you want to see from OKR, you want to see a bit of fight from them. They've let themselves down early on in this game. We keep saying it. There's a mistake from Harry Smith, bit of pressure. And then on the back of that, you can see he just goes in. He knew that it was a knock-on. Bevan French reacts. Players come in to protect the halfback, young Mikey Lewis, and Harry Smith and him going at it, saying words. But a lot of pushing and shoving, nothing really happening. It always looks worse in this day and age. You get all players saying, what are they doing? It looks bad. And Bevan French, it was him that come in that really set it off for me. I didn't need to react like that.
I think the video referee, Ben Thaler, is just having another look at this, and we'll get a message down to Liam Moore. Just over 10 minutes to go to half-time. 18 points to 6.
There's nothing there that should be a penalty be awarded. I think Harry Smith makes the mistake. I'm sure both captains will be called out here, look, just to settle it down.
Let's see what he has to say.
We've had a good game up to now, haven't we? We've got 10 minutes to go this first half. What we've got here, we've got a knock-on by Harry. We've got Mikey Lewis and Bevan French coming together, right? We've looked at everything, everything's been reviewed. There's no punches, nothing in it, okay? Now, what I can do, there's 2 options for you as captains. You can start sitting people down, which I assume you don't want to do in a semi-final, or we can get on with the game and a scrum down, look for the knock-on. I'm going to give you a chance as captains to get stuck into your players, get the message. Don't want players running in, taking away control. Are we clear, Sean? Sweet boys, scrum down. Yes.
There's the message, loud and clear.
Well dealt with. We don't want players running, like I say, that the aftermath of pushing and shoving, and Mikey Lewis and Harry Smith, just altercation coming together. Look, it was finished there.
Stay, boys.
It was absolutely finished. Then Bevan French comes in, Kai Pierce-Ball. All of a sudden, the melee comes about. Players reacting, shirts getting
discipline, boys.
pulled.
Just spoke to your captains, get the
Not a
message
great
across.
look. Not one punch thrown.
Heads down now. Out. One. Move now. Hold the 10. Go 1.
Opicic.
Hold.
10 minutes to
Release
half-time,
it.
a big
Hold.
10 minutes. Can KR find a try, and then it would blow it wide open. A set restart. Jez Litton is on.
Yeah, Morgan Smithy's just into that a bit too long. Jez Litton on now. That'll spark him up around the ruck area. So quick, big impact from the bench. From the number 14.
Here is Luckley again.
That's
Scored
a nice
a try.
carry.
The Matt clinching try, didn't he, against Lee
Release
a
it
week
now.
ago.
Find space, free. Hold. Goal free.
Litton at dummy half. Here's Minchella. Got the try that's got Rovers back into this.
Hold.
Shell shot, weren't they, in that blistering opening from Wigan. Matty Staunton into the Wigan 20.
Release him.
On the last.
Space. Goal 5.
Litton again. Schneider with the kick towards the corner. It's tapped back. Picked up by Lewis. Can he get the ball away, Mikey Lewis? And they've got a penalty out of that. And I think that all goes back to what happened 2 minutes ago when they all piled in on Mikey Lewis and Wigan taking it out on Lewis there. Liam Moore warned them, and they get a penalty.
Well, you kick over the corner street. He asked about that. He may not come up with anything. Sean Kenny-Dowell, one of the best in the year, he knocks it back. On the back of that, there's a high shot on Mikey Lewis. So to get the ball back, you've got to make everything into a contest. An interesting set of 6 coming here.
Wow, is it ever?
Well, they're in this good ball area. It's not about low risk now.
KR's first penalty. Can they make it count? Here is Luckley looking to offload.
The set up on the left-hand side.
Yep, that's where they'll set up for sure. Here is Litton inside for Matty Staunton. Really consistently good Staunton for Hull KR
Hit the line
in 2023. Litton again. Schneider. Walker. Can he offload the fullback? Well, he does offload. And who comes up with the ball? And that's an error. That's an error there from Jack Walker when they were in such good field position.
Yeah, it was a nice shot, wasn't it, from Morgan Smithies over the top that forces the idea. He's looking for an offload to Jez Litton, who's trying to get behind him to receive it. In the meantime, Morgan Smithies has come in and whacked him and forced that mistake.
Well, a big day, of course, for Hull KR and for their owner, Neil Hudgell. And he's the man responsible for keeping the club alive. He's put over £5 million of his own money into the club, and that's the love and passion you have, I guess. He'll be hoping for better from his team as this game goes on. 8 minutes to half-time, 18-6, but despite that start, you've got to say they're still in it.
Well, they're still in it, most definitely. I must admit, I was worried for them at the start of the game. And Jack Walker getting manhandled. This is where Wigan really like to dominate you. Defence focus, get off the line. Kai Pierce-Ball just shooting the line, trying to get all the senior. If he decided to take that outline.
Thoroughly enjoyable semi-final.
Not square, Brad. Stay down, mate. Good.
That Wigan backline, by the way, 1-7. Before today, 115. I'll just say that again, Terry. 115 tries between them.
Yeah,
they've been lethal once more.
Incredible. Everyone doing a job in that backline, aren't they?
Yep. Today, 2 from Marshall, 1 from Field, make that 118 as Field takes the high kick from Lewis. Good challenge on Jay Field.
And always be aware what Jay Field's going to do. He dummies that ball out. Favours running over on that left-hand side. You've got Bevan French controlling the right edge.
Wardle. What a good season he's had. Very good season. Super League dream team for Jake Wardle. His 100th Super League appearance today.
Move, Mikey! Straight out.
Incredibly, his first playoff game. So far, so good for Wardle and Wigan. Here's the dangerous French.
Just caught off on the sideline then, didn't he? I think with Sam Luckley.
Last one. Will it be a kick from Harry Smith? It will, towards this right-hand corner, and taken well by Senior under pressure. You've got to say, after that first 15-6, after the first 20 minutes, that KR had been in the contest.
Yeah, you're right. It was a blistering start. I think it was the opening 12 minutes that they did the damage. Harry Smith, for me, has got a bit of time kicking that ball out of hand. Need a bit more pressure from the inside, from the ruck, from the markers. Making it really difficult for the likes of Senior Hall on the last player catching it.
5 minutes to half-time. Wigan leading by 18 points to 6. We're joined now by the Warriors assistant coach, Sean O'Loughlin, as Rovers make another error. Great field position this for Wigan to perhaps strike before half-time.
Yeah, I was just...
Sean, what a start.
Yeah, I was just going to say this is a big 5 minutes for us at the end. Coming our favour a little bit there. It's been a great start. I think the first 20 minutes were posting points, and then probably the last 15 has been a bit more like we was expecting. That more of a battle through the middle, them getting ruck speed and testing us around the middle.
Heads in tight, Willie. Hands over.
Thank you, Sean. Much appreciated.
Head down. Wait.
18-6, 4 minutes to go to half-time.
Big 4 minutes as well there. They can't concede another try just before half-time.
French. Oh, just pushes off Lewis, but there's an error from Toby King, and just Wigan starting to make one or two mistakes as well. You have a wry smile on your face.
Well, because it goes straight in the noggin, doesn't it, of Toby King? He won't appreciate that. The ball comes out at some speed. Trying to get the ball out wide to Abbas Miski. That first ball again that they look for the opening set of 6, and Matty Pete knows now, probably in a bit more of a game, a bit more unsettled. The smiles have gone. And you look at Wigan over the last couple of years, 3 losses in the last 2 years at the DW. Incredible home form. I think 2 of those losses were against Leeds, 1 against Catalan. They really do pride themselves on the home record.
Last season, you're right, 13 out of 13. This season, 11 out of 13. But there are 2 home playoff defeats against Leeds really hurt. Coming on the back of that defeat to Salford, of course, in 2019. They reached the grand final in 2020, of course, losing that epic, that thriller, arguably the greatest game or the greatest finish against St Helens. But they've not been to Old Trafford for 5 years.
Well, Jesse Litton now just trying to usher some of his big forwards onto the ball. As soon as he gets those forwards just making a dent in the line, he's off from dummy half, using his speed.
Lewis again on halfway with a towering kick. Abbas Miski does well. 2.5 minutes to go to half-time. 18 points to 6. The Catalan Dragons await the winners at Old Trafford next Saturday, the 2023 Grand Final, live and exclusive on Sky Sports. Well, Liam Marshall's 2 tries set the tone, didn't they?
Go dive, Liam, come on, you're better than that. You're better than that.
Great start. I said Patrick Maygo now, just look how quick he's trying to find his front, plays the ball quickly. Hull KR can't get back. Again, kicking on the front foot, Harry Smith.
Good kick. It wouldn't have been a 40-20, just outside, just past the line.
How many times has Jack Walker got the ball and been driven backwards?
I'll tell you what, how many times has Jack Walker got the ball and been driven backwards, and Liam Farrell has been involved in it?
Well, defensively, one of the best players, isn't he? Liam Farrell leads that kick chase over here on the left-hand side. Like I said at the start, everyone reacts to your senior players and how they lead by example in big games.
Ryan Hall seen much of the ball, but here is Kane Linner, just shy of halfway. It's their time for KR to fashion something just before half-time. Luckily again, impressive first season since joining from Salford. Jez Litton, who's injected a little bit of something different into it, hasn't he? Schneider, and out of the back door it goes to Opachich. It was worth gambling on the last, because the high kicks really haven't made too much difference. Last minute of the half.
Yeah, well, they had to try something, didn't they? Knowing where they are on the scoreboard and how far and how long they've got left to half-time. Have a crack at it. You know, I think if you're Willie Peters, you're happy going into half-time, considering the start, where you've got yourself back to now. They're in the game, they get that field position, scored a try at the start of the second half, and it's game on.
Move! Back, hold.
Mago. He's enjoying himself. He's enjoyed every minute of his season here. He's signed a year extension to his contract. That's how much he's valued. And that will be that for Matty P, the Wigan coach. For the most part, he must be absolutely delighted. Willie Peters desperate to get his side into the dressing room at half-time. Rovers are still in this, but they've got to produce a mighty comeback in the second half. Wigan raced into an 18-0 lead in no time at all, but at half-time, the grand final awaits, 40 minutes away from one of these teams. Wigan lead Hull KR by 18 points to 6.
Stuart Terry, thank you very much. It was the second of our semi-finals live this weekend on Sky Sports, and it was nearly over after 12 minutes. A J-Field try either side of one from Liam Marshall. Well, it had Wigan in an 18-0 lead, but Mincella's try hit back for Hull KR. The thoughts of Lee Breers and John Wilkin after this short break at the DW.
They have finally made it to the grand final at Old Trafford.
The players cannot fail but be lifted by all of this. Robinson, Billy Wears with a try under the sticks. Long has picked the goal. It's a brilliant goal. Scott Wellesby might have got the try. He has got that.
Week after week and year after year, they keep coming back.
The players will enjoy every single minute.
It's grand final season this October on Sky Sports. You'll see all three live with us on Sky Sports. Tomorrow we're on Mix at 2:30 p.m. for a repeat of last year's grand final as York Valkyrie look for revenge against the reigning champions, the Leeds Rhinos. Next Saturday we will be at Old Trafford, 5 p.m. on Arena and on Main Event. We know the Dragons are there. Who will join them, Wigan or Hull KR? We'll find out shortly over the next 40 minutes at the DW Stadium. And on Sunday, the day after the men's grand final, we have the Betfred Wheelchair Super League grand final between Leeds and either the London Roosters or Wigan. That will be on Sky Sports Arena at 5 p.m. So who joins the Dragons next Saturday? Well, it's looking like being the league leaders, the Wigan Warriors. They've got a 12-point advantage over Hull KR at 1 point in that first 40 minutes. It looked ominous for the visiting Robins as they trailed by 18 points after just 12 minutes. Just how crucial is that Elliot Mincella try? We'll get the thoughts of John Wilkin and our very special guest here, pitchside at the DW Stadium, Lee Breers. Lee, sum up, if you would, the first 40 minutes of that second of the semi-finals.
It was probably tail of the 20 minutes. Wigan near perfect for 20 minutes, 18 points, probably 85% possession. I couldn't do anything wrong, and then probably overplayed the hand a touch. Probably found it a bit too easy, started making crucial errors. We spoke about Hull KR being resilient, a connected team, and they just gradually got back into the game and, you know, deserved the 6 points though.
But with some damage done on the scoreboard at that stage, it was Hull KR in cliche terms, maybe still on the bus, Wigan with a flying start.
Yeah, concerns here that so early into a game structurally get unlocked. Ryan Hall with the talent contribution for Hull KR, but that was a lot. And then that was the start of Wigan just being sharp. Really square from Bevan French. Harry Smith, who's been delightful. And then it's all about Jay Field. Opicic comes out the line to be aggressive, but where he misses the mark here for me is he doesn't follow through with it and shut it down there. He then becomes passive, and that's like manna from heaven for Jay Field. And he is a master at taking charge of space. How good's Harry Smith been, Lee?
Harry Smith, just watching from up in the stands, he's been controlling everything. He's stood at the back, making sure the team get to where they need to go. And you know, this kick was sublime.
Yeah, presence of mind from Jay Field. He could have easily got a hand on that. Look, for people who don't know about the game, watch Jake Wardle come into your shot right at the bottom. That's massive, right? It's a really subtle detail. And if we just slow it down when Jay Field gets the ball in his hands, he preserves that depth. It's called tuck shape. It's to stop teams being aggressive against you. Wow, if we roll it on from here, does that work? Because that's the time and space preserved on the edge. And it's the nuanced detail of the edge attack for Wigan, which has been exquisite. For 20 minutes there, I thought Wigan were near flawless with the ball.
As a playmaker in the side, how difficult is it to deal with that position when you're 18 up after 12 minutes and just control emotions? Things are all going your way, and you may start thinking about big numbers on the scoreboard.
Yeah, well, you just got to stick to process, we call it. You know, getting back to blue, the blue head, nice and calm. While everything around you is being hectic, chaotic, you've just got to take a breath, make sure that the team understand what it's about, what OKR are about, because they're going to come back into it. So Matty will be disappointed with the way we turn the ball over, but he'd be absolutely delighted with the first 20 minutes.
We could be standing here preparing for a grand final between Wigan and Catalan next week, but for the intervention of Sam Luckley and Elliot Minchella.
Yeah, we spoke about the importance of offloads for OKR. Well, it was Sam Luckley who came up with one, and I love this support line from Minchella. He moves, nobody else does. Kai Pierce-Paul reacts, but it's just a little bit too late for Wigan Warriors. At this stage now, OKR were just getting the ball, so it's 85% possession to Wigan, and then for the next 10 minutes, look, OKR have got that back to 57-43, and that is unbelievable. Because
it's a half of two halves that Lee was talking about. Absolutely, you're right to point that out. Possession, while it's 57% now for Wigan, that was not the case after 20 minutes. Neither were playing the balls in the opposition half.
You can have all the stats you want, you can look at them stats, but I'm telling you now, if OKR start like they just did, no stats in the world will matter, because the game will be over. It's going to come back to how much do they want it. Are they going to be aggressive and take it to Wigan, or are they going to back off like Ryan Hall and Kenny Dowell did, or are they going to be disconnected like Opicic on the other side? Are they going to come out and give it to Wigan?
Matt Pete and Wigan certainly in the ascendancy. Hull KR and Willie Peters have 40 minutes to rescue what has been so far a tremendous season, but might have a further twist.
Yeah, look, they must come out and score first, but not only that, the communication that Willie Peters mantra, the words on their wall in the changing room, well, you've got to go and live it here. You've got 40 minutes to get to a grand final. If they can deliver defensively, I think there's been glimpses with the ball they're going to create some problems. Willie Peters will be really disappointed with that opening 20, but that doesn't mean it's done. That doesn't mean it's done for this Hull KR team. 5 years ago, game over. We're all in the car park, we're on the M6, we're going home. That's not the same Hull KR that we see now.
It is certainly not done. There is just 12 points between them on the scoreboard. Looking at the game, you feel that maybe Wigan could and should have been many more points ahead. But Hull KR hit back with Elliot Minchella's try in that first half. They have hope in the second half of the DW Stadium. We'll be right back with the second of the semis after this break. Yes, a brace from Liam Marshall, one from Jay Field, but importantly for Hull KR, a return serve through Elliot Minchella's 23rd minute try. John Wilkin and Lee Breers. Hull KR sent out early here. We got another big game coming up for you tomorrow on Sky Sports. We got the women's grand final repeat of last year's meeting. Got two of the best sides in the competition. The Valkyrie hoping to defeat the reigning champions, the Rhinos. We're on Sky Sports Mix at 2:30 p.m. Well, the Warriors making their way out shortly here at the DW Stadium. Sent out by Matt Peat, Lee Breers, engineer. As a former playmaker, engineer, a way back for Hull KR in this game.
First and foremost, they've got to defend a bit better. They've got to, a bit more aggressive on an edge. They're a bit passive. Field and French are having, obviously, pardon the pun, a field day. So they've got to go up and make sure that they're shutting them down. Get that right, and then get a bit of possession, they can get back into it.
Tighten up defensively, he says. You've got a half a chance. They're going to have to throw plenty at Wigan at the same time. Yeah,
they've been attacking great all year, but trust that and actually get a fair share of possession. You're a chance for Wigan. Harry Smith, kick the ball, kill the game, and execute when they get some opportunities, and Wigan will be good here.
It'll be really important that Hull KR don't chase the score. Scoreboard pressure doesn't come into it. There's 40 minutes, you can score as many tries as you want.
It is Wigan's to lose, but just 12 between them. Willie Peters looks on anxiously. We wait for the start of the second half. Let's get straight back to Terry O'Connor and to Stuart Pike.
Thank you, Brian. Wigan's to lose, Hull KR's to win. Who knows? It would be an incredible comeback if they can, from 18-0 down after 12 minutes. Wigan and Hull KR 40 minutes from a showdown with Steve McNamara's Catalan Dragons in the grand final at Old Trafford next Saturday. Do you concur about what Rovers have to do in this second half?
Yes, I do. I'm just looking at Hull KR, the way they come out, looking at the body language of Willie Peters and what he'll want from his side. And this Warriors side know that they're in a battle with him. They've had a couple of decent battles this year already, and they won't write them off. 12 points isn't a big enough lead for Wigan, in my eyes.
Dominant! Stand for! Don't go early now.
That brought down midway inside the Wigan half of the field. Here's the try score. Elliot Minchella, what a season he has had, by the way. Unlucky, I think, not to get in the dream team. Ball goes back to Schneider. Now, that should be fairly easy for Jay Field. And it is. Just as a coincidence, by the way, Terry, 36 years ago today, to the very day, the 7th of October 1987, was when Wigan beat Manly in that famous World Club Challenge at the old Central Park, 8 points to 2. They gave the crowd as 30,000, it was probably 50.
Against all the odds, was that when, was it Sean Wayne got man of the match in that game?
He did.
There you go, prop forward getting man of the match. That's the sort of game it was, a big bruising encounter.
Move! Back up.
Mago. Smithies and Smith and Farrell, this is good hands.
Too much
Field
time.
can't find a way through.
Too much time, just letting Wigan play.
Hold. Oh, don't make play on 5, he's done with it, play on.
So Smith with the kick, that's a good kick. It's a teasing kick and it's missed by Kenny Dowell. Still on, last one, Bevan French now. Can he weave some magic? He goes to the far side. There's a chance here for Marshall! Is that the hat-trick out of absolutely nowhere? Liam Marshall looks like he's got his third try. The big call though is, was Marshall onside from the kick from Bevan French? It's a pivotal moment in this semi-final.
First kick,
the
Smithy.
video referee will decide.
Thank you. We have a live call of try on field. We're going back to the first kick. We pause it there. Everybody's on side, so we've gone from here. So it's a challenge on this. We're all going for the ball. Everybody's up there going for the ball. If we're going to get at that on that looks as if the ball goes backwards. We're clearly challenging for the ball. That's fine. Missed by everybody. It's then touched by Wigan, Isa, and it goes backwards. So we're playing on from here, so we're going to keep seeing what happens now. Everybody again is onside. So the ball is caught cleanly. We're going through to the grounding. Have a close in on that, please. Caught clean. And the ball is grounded. Thank you. I've now made my decision.
Well done there, Rich. Got it.
It is a big moment in this semi-final. You need a touch of fortune. The bounce of the ball, the rub of the green went Wigan's way. The ball went backwards. In a way, Bevan French was kicking into no man's land. But in no man's land, he found Liam Marshall. It's a hat-trick for Marshall. And it's a try that takes Wigan ever closer to the grand final.
Well, started the second half like he started the first. A try in the opening 2 minutes, and Bevan French with that kick. Played the last 16 games in the halves, and what you want him with it. His hand on the ball. Look at that, goes up, comes back off Willie Isett. See Bevan French just positions himself. The footwork beats those players. And he looks up and he knows that Marshall is going to be out there just near that touchline along with Wardle. If he executes that kick, it's certainly going to be a try. A couple of efforts from Harry Smith gets them into a position, and Bevan French, I love that. Play what you see. 32 try assists this year. Can Harry Smith get this goal? Wow.
Wow, absolutely wow. He's had some critics this year, hasn't he? And I think that's why he's smiling, because he has made it 4 kicks out of 4, and 3 of them have been off the touchline. And this is Marshall's 3rd hat-trick of the season.
Well, outstanding play, isn't it? Liam Marshall, like we were saying before, his 150th Wigan appearance. Scores tries. He's helped out by a lot of his teammates, Jake Wardle and Bevan French in particular. But certainly brave at the back, returns the ball with interest and knows his way to that try line.
Well, Jordan Abdul is on for Hull KR. He'll play most of this half. This is it's the only call really left in Willie Peters' playbook, I think, to put on his most influential player. Abdul, by the way, missed 12 games, 12 weeks, 3.5 months through injury. He hasn't played this many minutes in a game that he's going to play in this second half. What can he do to turn it around? It's going to take some turning around at 24 points to 6.
Oh yeah, it'll be a big turnaround in form from them again. They go to that left edge, look at that, backing off. It looks like Mikey Lewis has gone to fullback. Jack Walker's been substituted, and that's why Jordan Abdul comes onto the field in the halfbacks.
Feel the play.
Well, that may well be a dropout. It is. It was taken by Lewis Senior.
Out was the kicking game.
Yeah. Field it was, and a shake of the head by Senior, but there's nothing he can do. Taken out of the field of play, course behind the try line. And at 24 points to 6, 5 minutes gone in the second half. We're joined now by the KR assistant coach, David Hodgson. Schneider just tries a short kick-off, and who's going to come up with the ball? Rovers get it back. They've got to gamble, David. You've got to gamble now.
There's still a long way to go in the game. The start didn't help us, to be honest, and that's been both halves we've started. We were a bit shell-shocked, to be honest, to start the game, and we built into it, but we need to get back into this, and like you say, we might have to start playing, but it's still a long way to go yet.
What did Willie say to the players at half-time?
Just believe in what we've been doing. We've been on a bit of a run, and believe in how we play and what we can do, and if we do that, we might be able to turn this game around, but we need to just have a fair share of possession to make that happen.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Oh, he did well to keep hold of that, and Sam Luckley, look at him.
Back. Cheers, Johnny.
Yeah, play on.
Cheers, mate.
Lewis it is with the kick downfield, but easy for Miskey, and the chase is nowhere to be seen. Abbas Miskey.
Well, there's still going to be some self-belief still in this Hull KR side. They've won the last 6 games coming into this, playing some exciting rugby, nail-biting rugby, but they've got confidence as well. Round 1, against all the odds, they beat Wigan at home. They beat them in the Challenge Cup semis, so they do believe that they can turn them over. Obviously 18 points behind. They've got to get hold of this game as quick as they can, though.
Mago, who's been really effective since he came on. O'Neill does well. Juggled by Shorrocks, but field again. Maybe a claim there for obstruction, but ball in hand. This guy's dangerous. Long pass out for Liam Marshall. The elusive Liam Marshall. Last one for Wigan, 10 yards away from the try line.
It's not football, stop diving.
I like that from Liam Moore. There's the dangerous kick though, and the ball goes backwards towards Bevan French. Here is another try for Toby King. And Wigan are surely on their way to Old Trafford and the grand final. Toby King playing against his brother George. Is that it? Is that it for Wigan? Here's the video ref to decide.
Okay, we have a live call on field of the try. We're just pausing on the foot, and they're all onside. So go on from here, please. The challenge is fine. It's backwards, we're playing on. That is back off Wigan. Pass fine. Puts into his left arm. Just go to the front on, that's great, thank you. Still in his possession. Grounded, thank you. I've now made my decision.
2 tries then in the first 7 minutes of the second half. Is that game over, I wonder? It's another try for Wigan. It's another giant step towards Old Trafford 2023. I'll tell you what, Terry, all game they have targeted the Hull KR captain, Sean Kenny Dowell, with those high kicks on the last. And Kenny Dowell has now made a mess of 3 of them. And it's another try. And is that the game?
Well, very difficult for Sean Kenny. Now, you look at this when he goes up for this. There's 3 players around him, putting pressure on him. Bevan French just loitering with intent, just expecting the ball to be knocked back. But it's just a big start. It's a masterclass in kicking from Harry Smith. And that's off the tee and out of his hand as well. And you see that when Toby King goes in for this, that's the start that the coach wanted. He would have talked about starting the second half like they did the first. And Toby King, the man who played for Warrington in 2 grand finals against Wigan, lost on both of them, but hoping to go there in a Wigan jersey and nail it.
And it would be his last game in a Wigan jersey. He's going back to parent club Warrington for 2024. Sam Burgess, the new coach, in no doubt that he wants him, but that body language tells you everything.
And that's it. And looking at that body language, not from the coach, from the players stood behind the sticks. They know that, yeah, they were in it with a couple of tries against them, but maybe looking at the scoreboard now and 22 points behind, maybe they kick fried from 5-8. Harry Smith, who said going into this game that he can't kick. There you go, saving it for the playoffs.
I think it's fair to say the kid can kick, and he has kicked beautifully today. 5 out of 5, 30 points to 6, and Toby King surely with the try that seals Wigan's spot at Old Trafford.
Well, that's where you plant the ball, isn't it? You make a defender feel uncomfortable, and they do that with the amount of numbers pushing up in support and pressuring them. And Morgan Smithy celebrates to the delight of the fans, and Harry Smith, he's been so influential with his kicking game.
Well, they have to go short, and they come up with the ball through Elliot Minchella. They were 18-0 down. They scored the try. The deficit now is a huge 24 points. Schneider. The mistake there by Opatic, and you just feel the body language of the players behind the post, and I just wonder now, Terry, whether it is a case for the last half hour of damage limitation.
Well, I said before about you follow your senior players, and Opacic's been one of the best players in a Hull KR jersey this year. He makes the error, the frustration's etched on his face, knowing that they have to come up with something really special to win this game. And maybe Hull KR have just got to try and pull the edges apart. They're not getting any change centre field from Wigan.
Well, Wigan backline, 1-7, has now scored 120 tries this season. That is a phenomenal stat. Here is Smith. Great ball now, field, and Marshall hunting more. Liam Marshall. Schneider with the tackle. It'll be Brad Schneider's last game in a KR jersey, going to Penrith, the NRL champs for 2024. Talking of which, Kai Pearce-Paul off to play at Newcastle. Smithies. Smith again with a lovely little chip over the top. Was he taken out? Well, the referee says no, that he went down. It was interesting. Just before that last try, you may or may not have heard Liam Moore there saying to Liam Marshall as he went down, stop cheating, it's not football. No penalty.
No, they've got, I think, steals the ball here. Michael loses the ball strip. I think it's Liam Marshall, just has a little tug. There's a couple of players involved. Pulls the ball out. The call was there from the touchline. Good play again. Good vision from Harry Smith. Spots the space behind that defensive line. Nobody there. He goes for it. Sandwiched between a couple of defenders. Turning the ball over in the right areas at the right time. Asking plenty of questions.
2. Move!
Wigan, of course, won the first ever Super League Grand Final. A memorable night at Old Trafford back in 1998 when they beat Leeds with that fabulous solo try from Jason Robinson. Forward pass. It is all going wrong.
And let me tell you, if you're a Hull KR player and you come up with a mistake and you look at the team that you're playing against and they celebrate like they've scored a try, that rattles you, 100%. That rattles you, gets in your mindset. They're all happy, they're in a good place. We're in a poor place really mentally because we know that we've still got to close this game out, and Willie Peters played for the Wigan Warriors for 1 year, and what a player he was, let me tell you, back in 2000. It was incredible, went back to Australia, played in the NRL. He'll be disappointed here, the way his team's performed. 8th last year in the competition, finished 4th this year. Real turnaround in form, great on and off the field.
Over 15,000 here at the DW for this semi-final. 5,000 have come over from Hull, from East Hull, but it's not going to be their day. Yeah, Willie Peters played in the grand final, didn't he, in 2000? For Wigan against Saints. Saints won. Terry O'Connor was playing in that grand final.
I always say he lost us that game as well.
Go for
Wigan trying to be ruthless here, looking for another one. Offload from Mago for Field. That's beautiful, and that's brilliant. What about that offload from Patrick Mago? And Jay Field gets his 2nd try, and Wigan get their 6th try, and they're coasting towards the 12th Super League Grand Final.
Forget the offload. What about the footwork from Patrick Mago? You just have a little look when he gets hold of this ball. Look at the footwork. Skips outside of Schneider, gives the ball to Jay Field, and that's what you want to see from a forward. He's got decent go forward, but what about that? Pulls in the defenders, the speed out wide. Jay Field been creating plenty of tries all year for players around him, scored plenty himself. And Mike Pete, well, now he's thinking, right, let's get ready for Old Trafford. We've got to close this game out. We've got to really mollycoddle some of our players, maybe bring some more game time to some of our younger players who can get through the game. But what a performance it has been.
34 points to 6, kick to come. 3 tries in the first 14 minutes of the second half. They've taken a little longer. Just 12 minutes to score 3 tries at the start of the game. Perfect with the boot, you know. Harry Smith, he was just 63% his kicking success rate before this game, and say much has been made, hasn't it, of his kicking ability, but he's proved a few doubters wrong today. OKR, their only other playoff semi-final, ended in defeat 2 years ago after winning at Warrington. They lost at Catalan. They've beaten Lee and they're going to lose to Wigan. Is it 6 out of 6? Oh, what a kick. Harry Smith is on fire. Wigan are turning up the heat. and they're running hot all the way to the grand final.
Yeah, well, outstanding. Good footwork, like I said, from Patrick Maygo. The speed from Jayfield, well, terrifies all defences, doesn't he? Comes up with the points, 36 points, 30-point lead in this game. Second time they've kicked the ball out on the full. They're putting themselves under some pressure.
Schneider did it in the first half, but they've got to take the gamble, haven't they? But I did mention those two words not so long ago, Terry. Damage limitation for KR.
We see so many times that teams make the playoffs and then all of a sudden they just can't quite continue and match other teams. But I genuinely thought Hull KR were going to turn up today and give it a real go, but they just couldn't live with the pace and the power in the opening stages of both halves.
Dupree with the first run, Kai Pearce-Paul with the second run. Powell, Smith again, and Bevan French. Brilliant, brilliant, and Miskey goes over for his 29th try of the season. And Wigan are running riot. They can start plotting their journey to Manchester. The coaches, the hotels, the tickets. Wigan against Catalan will be our 2023 grand final.
19 tries in the last 7 games. That is incredible. Abbas Miski, both wingers know if they hug the touchline, the ball will do all the work. And the amount of tries that they've scored from that shoot ball that goes across the centre, they just keep the pace on the white line out wide. And it's just too quick. Beats Ryan Hall, Abbas Miski goes in for yet another try.
Steve McNamara, the Catalan Dragons coach, is watching this game on Sky Sports from his home, feet up no doubt in Perpignan, planning for next Saturday. He'll be taking the odd note, but I don't think that anything that Wigan have done today will be new to him. He'll know exactly what to expect.
Well, he will prepare for Wigan at their best, won't he? No, Harry Smith, look, impeccable. 6 from 6, 100%. You know, you're backing to kick this one as well. And then be sending out a message represented England in the international against France. And he'll be hoping to be in that squad to take on Tonga in the next couple of weeks. And if he can clock this one up, next year they've signed Adam Kieran from Catalan, who's the goal kicker from Catalan, coming in to be wearing a Wigan shirt. Well, it's going to be a shootout who's going to be kicking, and on form here. If he knocks this one over, well, it's Harry Smith to lose.
Still only 23 years of age, Harry Smith. Perfection in the semi-final as he makes it 7 out of 7 with the boot. And most of them have been from wide out.
And what I like about that is he's done it under pressure. In the games when it matters, he has done it under pressure. Kicking 7 from 7 in a semi-final to get your team to Old Trafford. That's what you want. A lot of questions have been asked by that youngster. You know, from fans who support the club, fans outside of it saying he can't kick. Well, then let me tell you, and I've said it all the time, I've watched him from a youngster. That lad can kick a goal, and he's very intelligent as a player.
Well, Wigan are going to have many conundrums next year. But Brad O'Neill, just 21, has established himself as the top hooker this year at Wigan. Sam Powell, who's on the field at the moment, may be looking elsewhere for a club, and they've got Cruz Leeming coming in next year.
Well, they make a mistake here, but they have recruited well, haven't they? Well, Liam Byrne, Ethan Havard not playing in the game. They've recruited Jackie Chan, Sam Walters, Luke Thompson. They've got some forward power, haven't they, for 2024.
They've got 2 packs. They've got 2 first-team packs, effectively. You'd say you bring in Chan and Walters and Thompson and Leeming.
Well, Matty Peters definitely gone down the lines of big is beautiful, hasn't he?
Schneider.
Move now!
The Hull KR fans still in good voice, trying to get behind their side. They know their season is at an end. Beaten in heartbreaking circumstances at Wembley in the Challenge Cup final. But in the Super League semi-final, well beaten here by Wigan. Here's Abdul. Schneider once more for Kane Linnett. Great servant he's been for KR. He'll go round again for his 6th season next year, Kane Linnett.
4. Move! Back, hold. Hold. No, go, 4.
I think if one player has summed up Hull KR in this semi-final, that's it.
Well, handling errors now, 7 or 8, you make it in this game, and Schneider, well, he has it in his hands, and then he drops it, maybe pressure from Kai Pearce-Ball and Jay Field. But the errors, the missed tackles, the penalties they've given away, certainly not helped them. Set restarts, a couple of them as well.
16 missed tackles from Hull KR. You can't do that and expect to compete in a semi-final.
And it's not just the missed tackles, because some of the tries that Wigan have scored, they've not even get anywhere near the man to miss the tackle. They've been broken a number of times. And you could look at the scoreboard and think, right, 42 points as the kicks goes down from Harry Smith. You could look at the scoreboard and think, right, well, they've not challenged at all. And in this game, they haven't. Wow. Oh, just
right off the line. Ryan Hall wasn't sure whether to stick or twist.
Yeah, that's right. The temptation to pick the ball up, but the effort from Wigan again to chase that ball as Ryan Hall tries to break free. And I think the turnaround in the form, look, this hasn't been their game in the semi, but now for Willie Peters, what he's got to build on, he's got to a Challenge Cup final, he's got to the semis to get to Old Trafford. It's a different team, and I'm sure next year with the recruitment that's already taken place, you're going to see a better Hull KR side next year.
It's a team and it's a club on the up.
Outstanding. We talked about Neil Udgell before, the work he's done, new investors coming in to help support it, and another mistake. But again, they make the mistake from the pressure of the defence. Situations like this that Mikey Lewis put under pressure, all of a sudden they're all making the same sort of read. If one goes in Jake Wardle, then all of a sudden the winger goes in and Leo Marshall to follow him, so there's no gaps present if a little tip-on plays on. Everything's in tandem. The reaction in defence is to what the next man's doing is the key ingredient of a good defensive side.
Hands over, boys. See you now back.
18 minutes to go. Wigan are celebrating. But for Sean Kenny-Dowell, the KR captain, there he is, involved in the tackle. The last game of his career, a career when he's won a grand final down under. He'll be on the coaching staff next year, but it's a sad way for it to end, and then a penalty given away by Kane Linnett.
Yeah, just trying to.
I just wonder whether they'll carry on or whether they'll just go for two just because they can.
They'll keep going for points, trying to slow the game down. Talk about Sean Kenny-Dowell play. Fans saying, why is he retiring? Been in the dream team the last 2 years. He's what a player, what a find, what an addition to the coaching staff next year.
I think the simple answer to that is his body can't take it anymore.
Well, his performances have looked all right this year. He's been pretty consistent for me.
35 years of age. Smith as Wigan go in search of more. Brilliant ball for Isa. Isa for Field. Oh, and it was a forward pass. Well, what, I'm not sure why Jay Field didn't go himself.
Yeah, well, Willie Isa, a nice line. Look at that, it's a hard line. And yeah, you're right. He scores that try, doesn't he? He scores that try. That's unselfish. An all-up pass from Bevan French. And the space is there, he's over the line, all he's got to do is ground it. And that would have been his hat-trick.
Okay, boys, yeah.
There you go.
Let's lock in now,
Plenty
boys,
of
please.
players having
Come on, boys, don't go early.
nice afternoons in the sun, playing, scoring plenty of tries.
Well, the Wigan coach, Matt Peat, in his first season, won a Challenge Cup final. In a previous career, he won 6 Academy Grand Finals in charge of the Wigan Academy in just 7 years. And here he is in his second full season in charge
going to lead Wigan
to the big party itself.
We've not had a problem with scrums for nearly 70 minutes. Let's get this.
You love the story of him, don't you? 2008, he was scholarship coach, worked their way through the system. 2011, under-18s coach, head of youth then 2013, and then won 6 grand finals with the academy. Do you know, like a lot of these players he's nurtured, he's brought through the system, and it's good to see an opportunity given to coach the first team, his hometown club.
Release him now!
And obviously coach of the year last year, nominated for this year.
2.
Well, life's pretty good if you're Matt Pete. Life's very good if you're the Wigan Warriors. And what a final it will surely be at Old Trafford next Saturday. Wigan against the Catalan Dragons, first against second to be crowned the Super League champions.
And I was going to say, it's written in the stars, Sam, up against Sam Tompkins. Sam Tompkins come through the system here, a Wigan lad up against them, brought the hearts of Saints last night on the final play to get to the final. And you're saying it's a happy camp for Matty Pete. Well, I tell you what, it's a happy camp for Steve McNamara as well. Sat in the south of France, I'm sure drinking a red wine now, watching this game.
That was Abdul, great kick from Abdul. That came off a Wigan hand, it's play on. Matt Parcell looked for the pass out, picked up by Kenny Dowell. Can he finish with a try? Inside it goes for Jez Litton. Schneider can't hold it. It was knocked on, and the man who made the tackle was Harry Smith.
You know, teams that go on and lift silverware, whether it's the grand final or the Challenge Cup or the League Leaders' Shield for being the most consistent side in the competition, you've got to have, and you've got to be proud of your defence and defend that try line with everything you've got. And there you go, you mentioned him, Harry Smith. He's come from nowhere, he's cut across 2 of his players to effect that tackle. He's gone past Farrell, he's gone past Miskey, and Miskey is the left winger, and he comes over right winger, and he comes in centre field to protect the try line. That's a bit of hunger, that's passion, that's what you want. That's the sort of defensive attitude that wins you games.
Move now, get square. Hall, go on. Hall! Go 2.
14 minutes to go.
Will knock on. Will knock on.
George King in there. Hand in there.
You can have a scrum, yeah.
So the countdown is on to the grand final next Saturday. This is where you need to go for all the information. Superleague.co.uk. Live and exclusive on Sky Sports. Wigan against Catalan.
Keep telling me you want scrums. Heads down. Get tight there, Brad.
It's not been Hull KR's day, but despite the fact they got a try back before half-time.
They give them hope, didn't it? Yeah. They were slow out the box, and that's what put them on the back foot.
2.
And that's what, I would even say that's what cost them. Yeah, they conceded 3 tries, but they weren't out of it. It was just the performance in the opening quarter. It wasn't good enough. And that'll hurt the coach, Willie Peters.
Well, in this second half, 24 unanswered points for the Wigan Warriors. Here's Smith again for Farrell, the evergreen Liam Farrell. Appearance number 350 for his hometown club. Smith goes high. Mikey Lewis at full-back does well, takes it under pressure. And the clock continues to tick on Hull KR's season. But for Wigan, 1 more game to go.
Tackle 2, called it, mate. Like that, tackle 2.
You're right, just one more dance on the big stage. They've got to perform. I was talking to Barry McDermott earlier in the week, and I was mentioning, and we were talking about Catalan and Wigan, both of those clubs. There's a swinging shot, a swinging arm from, I think it's Tyler Dupree. But last year, both Wigan and Catalan knocked out the playoffs by Leeds Rhinos. They weren't going to make that mistake. The same again. They were going to be making sure that they were getting to the final, coming up with a performance, and getting the result that they wanted. And I think it's going to be a fabulous, fabulous final from 2 very talented sides.
Back now.
You wonder, don't you, if it is written in the stars for Sam Tompkins. Hero in Perpignan with the last gap try to beat St Helens.
Move,
And the last appearance of his long and illustrious career will be in a grand final against his former club.
They've got a bit of an injury here now to George
Looks like King, yeah.
And George King been outstanding this year, as have many of those Hull KR players. Certainly led from the front. Willie Peters saying now it's all set in. They're not getting to Old Trafford. They'll be thinking about next year and what they've got to do. His main priority now will be making sure that his prop forward is okay. Looks like he's struggling. Doesn't stay down, George King, does he? He's a tough forward. Look at him. Just goes straight. Just comes down awkwardly. Tyler Dupree, just a little drop-off ball. Nothing wrong with the contact there. You can just see, I think, does he get caught underneath?
Sub in. Sub.
He splits when he goes down.
Tackle 2 early, mate. Yeah, just wait for me, please. We're going to let George lead them.
Well, there he is, me and his brother. Got two different haircuts there, Toby and George.
Yeah, wasn't that lovely?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Toby King racing over to give his brother George a little tap.
Yeah,
just to say, well done, hard luck.
Reading some comments from Toby saying how good his brother's been. Like I said, I've got to agree with them both. King brothers have been very good this year.
Time back on 2.
Look at that, nice touch. Although, I must admit, I don't think George could look him in the eyes then.
How?
Brothers in arms in a Super League semi-final. Good to see. A little over 10 minutes to go. Schneider, chase on the far side for Senior. Well held by Liam Marshall. A hat-trick from Marshall. 2 for Jay Field, 1 each for Abbas Miski and Toby King. This Wigan backline has torn Hull KR to shreds.
They've got stars all over the place, and what they have got, not just stars who can play the game, it's speed. Speed on the back of some decent go forward from the forwards. And we always wax lyrical about the backs and how good they are. But I think the hard work's done in the middle of the field as well, from some of the big forwards, the big boppers.
No doubt they'll be searching for more.
Held! Release him!
Harvey Hill, 20 years of age, huge future, the Cumbrian. Highly rated here at Wigan.
Third.
Jay Field, 43 tries in 58 games. Farrell once more.
4.
Will he get to lift the Super League trophy? In 7 days' time in Manchester. Smith. Good hands again. This is a set play, and French with a kick through. It was well read by Ryan Hall, but he dropped it. Did the ball go backwards? It did, and it's collected by Kenny Dowell.
Looking at Sean, Kenny Dowell was there then, just in the pocket. Strong challenge from Bevan French, loses the ball. Referee in a good position to call it.
James Batchelor a bit getting up gingerly there.
Move now, Toby!
To Ryan Hall's 6 grand finals he won with Leeds. His 18th season as a pro will be 2024. He's going round again, and he will break Danny Maguire's try-scoring record of that, there's no doubt. But it's not his day today.
4. Move straight out!
There he is.
Hold.
239 Super League tries, Maguire 247.
Chasing that down, isn't he, for next year? Absolutely. What player he has been.
5 play on.
And still is, to be fair.
Sam, give 10.
Brad Schneider, who gets the kick away, is going to be Nathan Cleary's understudy at Penrith. What a job.
Stand now, won't get squirking. Hold.
Was it Jack Cogger who went back, and was he over there playing? He went back to Penrith, won a grand final.
Held! Release him! Hold on.
They look out on the feet here now, Hull KR.
Play on now.
They're absolutely busted. Still got another 8 minutes to contend with, though.
Back. Hold. 4, 3, rolling. 4. Move, Sam. Get square. Oh, 4. Good. 5. Move.
Last
Right
one.
now. Go on, back to the side.
Is there going to be
play on.
another one?
Slips. Drop goal.
Oh, Harry
Drop
Smith,
goal.
just because he can.
No.
Going to go to the left of the post. That really would have rubbed salt in the wounds, wouldn't it, at 42
Discipline,
points
boys.
to
Wigan,
6.
discipline.
Well, listen to that.
0 coming.
Those Wigan fans booing him for missing the kick.
Hold!
Wants to kick
Release
14
it.
points,
0.
it's 7 from 7.
Hold.
He's kicked, goes for
Hold.
the drop goal, misses.
Too quick, that one, boys. Too quick.
Are you just
I've got to
looking
give you a mark.
at the energy and the effort? 7 minutes to go, they're still looking at getting off the line and taking those yards away from Ryan Hall.
Back up, boys, please. Back up, Wigan. Go.
Well, it's been a champion performance from Wigan.
Release now.
Will they be crowned the ultimate
Hold.
champions at Old
Don't
Trafford?
Hold him in. Don't hold him in, James.
Is there a consolation
2.
for KR?
Move now. Upward square. Hold. Goal 2.
Litton not liking that challenge there from Powell. Here is Schneider.
Watch them, watch them. Just watch them, mate, just watch them.
Batchelor.
Leo!
Across the line he goes. Kane Lynette
3.
running the angle.
Move!
Schneider and Liam Farrell just still together on the other side of the field.
Keep them going, keep them going.
Parcell and Abdul with the kick through. And well read. Good fullback play from Jay Field.
Surrender!
Good play from him at the back, just defending that try line. Willing to take a bit of a shot as well. Nabersmisky now with a strong carry. The back 3
Move now!
for Wigan.
Upward square.
So
Hold.
good bringing the ball back. Marshall on the back, and look at the speed, the acceleration into contact.
3. Move
The
down.
meters that they make with players on him leaves a player on the ground as well.
Well, Liam Marshall is one of those players you mentioned. He
3. Hold back.
played in the academy under Matty P. Now firmly established as one of the best
4.
wingers
Move, get
in the
square,
British
Sam.
game.
Hold now. Hold.
5
Hold.
minutes to go. 42 points to 6. As
5.
good
Move, Jordan.
a semi-final
Hold
win
now,
as you could
hold. Goal 5.
possibly hope for.
Well, that's the sort of performance you want going into a final, isn't it? To score 42 points
Shots
against
low,
the
Wigan.
team that finished in 4th spot and have been red hot. Wigan had that week off, they prepared for this game. Matty Pete, like I said in the first half, they wanted to peak at the right
Release
time of the
it.
year. Well, looking at that scoreboard, that's a peak performance for me.
Go back. You're moving off the mark, mate. Clear as day. Tackle 1. Go.
4 minutes to go. Senior
Offload, still
with
off.
the offload to Matt Parcell and Schneider, giving it a go right to the end. Mikey Lewis, but nowhere for Ryan Hall to go. So, of course, we look ahead to next week, Wigan against Catalan. Too close to call?
It is, absolutely. I firmly believe that. Normally you'd say, looking at finals, the teams that are in it, there's normally an overriding sort of winner or favourite. It's very close to call.
Abdul, this is good. Abdul inside for Jez Litton, and there is consolation for Hull KR in the closing stages, and something for 5,000 Robins fans to celebrate. They've been loyal and they've been loud, but they'll go home beaten, but they'll go home in the knowledge that it's a team on the up who could challenge for the major honours in years to come. Litton with the try.
Look, they've been outstanding in 2023, and both of those players, Jordan Abdul and Jez Litton, have been two of the standouts. I know Jordan Abdul's been out for a number of games, been subbing the last 5 games, but he comes through the line, tips the ball on, and there's no reaction, is there, from Jez Litton? No celebration, and Schneider kicks the conversion.
Yeah.
Willie Peters, well, his side have turned up. He had the right attitude, was looking at him in the warm-up, thought, right, they're on here, they want to perform. Led by some of those players like Sir Parcell and Jez Litton, the speed that they'll generate around the middle of the field could cause problems for Wigan. But unfortunately, defensively, Wigan were too strong,
and offensively, they were a class act early on.
Liam, 3 minutes.
Well, over the last 24 hours, Paul Wellens at St Helens, Willie Peters at Hull KR, hoping to join an exclusive club of men that have played and coached in a grand final. Not this year for both. Only 4
Stay behind, boys, please.
have ever achieved that feat. Brian McDermott, Darryl Powell, Steve McNamara and Adrian Lamb. And this is Wigan's day, this is Matty Pete's day. 3 minutes to go.
Hal! Release now! Hold! Hold! Goal 1.
Just counting down the seconds, the Wigan Warriors. They finished first on a dramatic night. It could have been Wigan, it could have been Catalan, it could have been St Helens, it was Wigan. With that big win, controversial win, some may say, at Lee. Catalan finished second. And since February, this is what we've been building up to. The grand final next Saturday. Live and exclusive, Sky Sports Arena and Sky Sports main event, Wigan against Catalan, and we're on the air with an hour build-up at 5 o'clock.
Some of the players that played in that final have been building for that game for about the last 11 months, let me tell you, since they've gone into pre-season. The focus have been there, they didn't make it last year. They wanted to put those wrongs right. Well, they've got an opportunity now in the Theatre of Dreams next week. And the build-up for them, the preparation has got to be absolutely spot on from both of those sides. Like you said, Stuart, it is so close to call who will win. Will Sam Tompkins break the hearts of the fans that used to adore him? Mickey McLaurin, Tom Davis, a number of ex-Wiganers.
Come on now, where would your 10p be? Don't say in your pocket.
No, genuinely, it's too close to call. And being genuine, I'd normally tell you who I think's going to win the game. That one.
3. Move together.
Anybody's. It is that close. It is anybody's. I'd love to see what the odds are for the game.
I agree. It is that close. Reminded by our stats guru Ian Proctor that all 4 playoff games this season have gone with the seeds. So Helens beating Warrington, KR beating Lee, and then in the semi-finals, of course, Catalan beating Saints and Wigan winning here today. And can they finish with a flourish? Miskey with the kick through, and it came Hull KR with a long kick downfield. And the chase from Mikey Lewis, and across comes Gary Field, does really, really well. But it was Wardle.
And again, I'm going to say it,
he came from the left side.
He's come from the left side, over to the right. The game's gone. The game is absolutely dead and buried. But that's a player who's determined to save a try.
Jake Wardle playing in his first playoff game. And he's going to play in a grand final. Celebrations to Matt Pete and his assistant Tommy Luluai. And the Wigan Warriors are going to Old Trafford. And they're going to be appearing in their 12th grand final. A stellar performance. 18-0 up inside 12 minutes. And Hull KR were never going to come back from that. Liam Marshall with a hat-trick. Disappointment for KR. They lost in heartbreaking fashion at Wembley, and that is it for the career of Sean Kenny-Dowell. They've been well beaten today. They can have no complaints. And it's first against second in the Super League Grand Final. Wigan against the Catalan Dragons. Bevan French instrumental in everything. Willie Peters just congratulating his team on what's been a great effort. But today, it proved one big hurdle too many for Hull KR. And for Wigan, it's the promised land of Old Trafford and a grand final. Wigan win by 42 points to 12.
Stuart, Terry, thank you very much. we'll take a moment to bask in the utter brilliance of that Wigan Warriors performance. For large parts, the overwhelming majority of that 80 minutes, they ripped Hull KR to shreds, showed why they finished top of the table, and have given the Catalan Dragons so much to think about, John Wilkin.
There was so much quality about the performance, Brian. A lot of aspects of it would be so pleasing for Matty Pete. His spine, Harry Smith in particular, I thought had an outstanding game, you know, kicking at goal and place kicking, and his contribution with Bevan French and Jayfield was sparkling at times and exposed frailties in Hull KR's defence that maybe they didn't even know they had going into this game.
Coaches approach it like this. They say, yes, we were great, but we need to fix this, this and this up for next week. We'll get to that shortly. First, the brilliant parts of Wigan's game.
Yeah, defensively, I thought they were incredible from minute one. You know, they just scored at the end in Hull KR.